Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Jack Wagner on When Calls the Heart Melissa Gilbert romance. Move over Nathan and Elizabeth. The big When Calls the Heart Season 13 love story is Georgie McGill and Bill Avery. Moreover, Jack Wagner is so elated with this on-screen romance with Melissa Gilbert's character that he believes many fans of his General Hospital and Melrose Place will be reminded of the romantic hero he was back in the day. Here are all the exciting details. When Calls the Heart Season 13 won't officially start production until July 1. However, that has not stopped Jack Wagner from speaking to TV Insider about the big Georgie and Bill romance. Firstly, he started talking about the Season 12 reunion of forensics expert Georgie McGill and Bill Avery. True to his soap roots, the General Hospital alum wanted to talk about that kiss in the Season 12 finale. They brought Melissa Gilbert on the show last year, and I kissed her at the end of one episode. And that kind of created a little romance for Bill. Next, he shared that Melissa Gilbert is returning for Season 13. Just recently, the Little House on the Prairie alum confirmed she is returning. Moreover, it sounds like a recurring role as she plans to return to Vancouver, where they filmed the Hallmark series many times. She seems excited. However, it is nothing compared to Jack. And Melissa's coming back this year, so they're going to keep this going, which I think is terrific. She's great. I haven't been playing that at all on When Calls the Heart, so for me, it's like plugging into Jack Wagner from the 80s or 90s. Lastly, he declared, I realize that's why I'm having so much fun. It's like, wow, I'm dusting off my old charming romance guy. Let's dust this guy off. When Calls the Heart Season 12 included a special guest star. The Queen of the Prairie, Melissa Gilbert, joined the series for 2 episodes. She portrays Georgie McGill. While she is new to Hardee's, she is not new to Bill Avery, Jack Wagner's character. The two knew each other way back when. It was not until Season 12 did they learn that they both had a crush on each other. During the season, there were some movements where the two could talk about the past and their feelings. However, they had some bad guys to find. Work got in the way of romance until the two finally kissed. Melissa has previously stated she wanted to explore this relationship. What could be next for the two? Hardee's will have to wait for more teasers, and the Season 13 premiere sometime in 2026. Jack Wagner fans, are you glad that the When Calls the Heart writers will continue the Georgie McGill and Bill Avery storyline in Season 13? Is this a couple that you are rooting for? The Canadian Rockies were draped in the soft hues of early morning when Jack Wagner stepped onto the set of When Calls the Heart. His character, Bill Avery, had become a staple of the Hallmark series, his steady presence grounding Hope Valley's romantic drama. Yet on this day, there was an unusual electricity in the air. Not because of a storyline, but because of a new face visiting the set. Melissa Gilbert, iconic for her role as Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie, had been spotted in Vancouver. And the rumor mill had already begun its work. Jack had heard the whispers all week. Melissa Gilbert? Here? No way. One crew member had said, coffee in hand. Another chimed in, she's just visiting an old friend. Probably nothing. But Jack had met Melissa before, at industry charity events, fan conventions, and once during a joint Hallmark panel. There had always been an ease between them, an unspoken familiarity as though they shared the same nostalgic DNA of American television history. Now seeing her walking onto the When Calls the Heart set, he felt a curious warmth rise in his chest. An unexpected visit. Melissa smiled as she approached. She was radiant in that grounded, effortlessly elegant way she perfected over the years. Jack Wagner, still making hearts swoon, she teased, holding out her arms for a hug. Jack laughed, embracing her warmly. Melissa Gilbert on my set? Are we doing a crossover episode nobody told me about? She laughed, shaking her head. I'm in town for a book signing. But I had to stop by. I've been watching When Calls the Heart. It's so refreshing, Jack. Feels like the kind of television we grew up with. It reminds me of, well, home. Jack noticed the way her eyes softened when she said home. There was something wistful behind it, a hint of nostalgia. He understood it. Television had changed over the years, but actors like them carried the legacy of wholesome, heartfelt storytelling like a badge of honor. The spark on set. It didn't take long for the rest of the cast and crew to start whispering. Melissa stayed on set longer than anyone expected, watching as Jack filmed a courtroom scene. During breaks, they really talked, about their careers, their families, the strange balance of fame and privacy, and the shared experience of having iconic characters that fans still cherished decades later. "Do you ever get tired of people calling you Laura?" Jack asked with a grin. Melissa laughed. "Only when I'm in the grocery store at 7 a.m., no makeup, and someone wants a photo. But honestly, it's a blessing. That character changed my life. What about you? Still get serenaded with All I Need from your General Hospital days?" Jack smirked. "More than you'd think, and every time, I wonder how I'm still hitting those notes at concerts." Their conversation felt easy, natural, even flirtatious at moments. By lunchtime, someone on set joked, "Should we tell Hallmark to write Melissa into the show? Bill Avery could use a love interest." The room erupted in laughter, but the thought lingered in the air longer than expected. A shared history, a new chapter. Later that evening, Jack found himself replaying moments of the day. Melissa's laughter. The way she had listened intently when he talked about his music career. The way she fit effortlessly into Hope Valley, as if she belonged there all along. They had both been through high-profile relationships and very public heartbreaks. Both knew what it meant to have fans invested not just in their characters, but in their personal lives. And maybe that's why, as Jack scrolled through his phone, he hesitated before sending a text. "Dinner before you leave town. Just 2 TV icons reminiscing, promise." Melissa responded almost immediately. "Reminiscing sounds lovely, 7 p.m. The dinner. The restaurant was cozy and unpretentious, tucked away from downtown Vancouver's bustle. Over candlelight, they shared more than just memories, they shared dreams. Melissa talked about her recent passion projects, advocating for mental health and rural community arts. Jack shared stories from his touring life as a musician and how when calls, the heart had given him a renewed sense of purpose. "You know," Melissa said, sipping her wine, "it's funny. I spent so much of my youth on a set pretending to live in the 1800s. And now you're doing the same thing, just a different prairie." Jack chuckled. "Guess we're both time travelers." He paused, looking at her intently. "You still got that spark, Melissa. That light people fell in love with decades ago. It's still there." Melissa smiled, almost shyly. "That's sweet of you to say. Honestly, I didn't expect this. I came here thinking I'd watch some filming and catch up with an old colleague. But tonight feels different." Jack leaned forward, meeting her gaze. "Different good." Melissa nodded. "Different, very good."